What's up everyone, Adam McKenzie here from the Ultimate You Project and welcome back to Mindset Monday. Now tonight I have a question for you and it might be one that you've thought about before, it might be one that you've never thought about. And that question for you is, what do you think is your biggest battle when it comes to you getting in the best shape of your life, you being able to achieve the results that you want, and you being able to really look and feel the way that you've always wanted to? And the answer is probably going to be different for all of you, but it's going to be the same for everyone. Okay? The answer is, it's the battle against your former self. Now, when I say your former self, I'm talking about everything that led you up to where you are and who you are today. And at some point, you're going to have to break up with that version of yourself in order to move towards becoming the type of person that you want to be. And I see this with people when they tell me their stories about why they are where they are, and every single call I get on and we go back and we discover sort of what's been in the way or what has come up along the way to lead you to where you are right now in terms of weight, how you're feeling, how you're talking about yourself, how comfortable you feel, all of these different things, right? It's a compound effect of everything over time. And I also see this with people who start to get a great level of results. They start to do things and then they self-sabotage. They completely blow things up. They go backwards, sometimes even worse than when they started or further back than when they started. They, will do things really well for a while and something will come up, an old trigger or something will come up. And I've talked about this a lot in previous videos. They suddenly drift back into old, mindsets, old languaging, old self-talk that only makes them feel worse and keeps them back here, right? And it's attached to this former version of themselves. And the reason why I see that happen, even with people that are starting to do everything that they need to do, is because they haven't yet changed the story around who they are. They haven't dedicated the time, the energy, and the effort into really discovering and articulating and envisioning who it is that I want to be. And some of you might be sitting here going, oh yeah, that's fluffy and rah-rah. And look, I get all of that for sure. I understand why you might be thinking that. But what I can tell you for a fact is the ones that go through not just a food change and a program change, it's the ones that go through an identity change, a complete shift in the person that they see looking back at themselves in the mirror, in the person that they become who makes the choices to do things versus not to do things. The person who makes choices based on what they want, not what they don't want. The person who talks to themselves in a way that's in line with who they are becoming or who they are starting to own that they are. And it's really easy for things to come up based on old languaging, old conversations, old emotional triggers, somebody you haven't seen for a while, didn't notice your weight loss or didn't say anything, right? It's really easy to drift back into the older version of yourself because you probably lived there for most of your life. You've probably identified and ingrained belief systems based around who you think that person is. And for a lot of people, it's also the limiting factor into why they can't see another possibility for themselves. Because everything they've seen to date has led them to this point, right? And nothing's worked for a lot of them. That's why they're in this point. Or it did work and then it stopped working, it did work and then it stopped working. So their whole belief system and their whole identity is attached to this roller coaster ride of bullshit. And yet they can't see that a simple path forward based on making some clear decisions, based on doing a couple of things on a day-to-day basis that are in line with those decisions, is possible for them. It almost seems too easy. All this complicated stuff that I've identified myself with, that makes more sense. How? I don't know, when you're not where you want to be and you're not feeling the way you want to be, but the simple approach over here that makes sense, that's in line with your body, that's in line with how we as human beings work and operate. That's too simple, right? Or I can't even see that as being a possibility for me yet because of all this other stuff that I've carried with me to get to this stage. And a few of my clients bring this up all the time based on conversations I've had with them, that a big part of shifting into who you want to become and being able to get through this battle of leaving the old you behind is letting go of a lot of that shit. It's letting go of a lot of the stuff that you carried to get to this point. It's breaking up with crappy self-talk and crappy beliefs and things that just, they don't have anything to do with what you can achieve in the future. They have fucking nothing to do with it at all. But yet you hear, oh no, I can't do that. I've tried that. It doesn't work. I'm not somebody that can do that. I'm not able to do that. Blah, 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 blah. Right? All of that self-talk is attached to who you were. None of it is attached to who you want to become. So if you want to win this battle, and it will be the battle that will never go away to a certain extent. It will when you understand the fourth stage of transformation and how you literally own and adopt the person that you want to be forever, to the point where you don't even recognize your past self. And I know some of you can relate to that in different areas of your life. But it's not a battle that's ever just going to dissipate and disappear, right? It's something that you're going to have to face, whether you're struggling to get results now or whether you've got results. Because old patterns are still there. Old conversations are still there. Old shitty emotions still exist. It's just whether or not you want to give them any power. It's whether or not you want to allow them to dictate whether or not you do and don't do something, how you feel or how you don't feel. It's a choice. So if you're sitting here now and you are at a stage where you are fed up with what you've been doing, you're fed up with feeling less than the way you want to feel, or in a way that, you know, the stuff I hear, I'm hiding, I don't go out, I don't want to go out because I don't want to choose clothes, I'm not able to play with my kids, I'm not able to do the things I want, intimacy with my partner's gone. Like, if you're experiencing any of that crap, and when I say crap, like, it's stuff that you don't have to experience if you don't want to. I'm not discrediting that that's how you're feeling. But at what stage are you going to pick the new battle? Right? And if you watched last week's video when I said how hard do you like it, like, choose your hard. For me, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to battle for that person, to battle to be that person, to battle to be that version of me. And it's going to be a never-ending battle because that version will adapt over time, and I'll only want to continue to be a better version. Or I'll want to continue to improve in some way, shape, or form, take on a challenge that will maybe stretch my ability to see an outcome. Like, I love that. It's almost that fear of the unknown drives me forward. But it wasn't always that case for me, right? And it's not for a lot of people. So you're sitting in this almost precipice, right? You've got a decision to make. Do I keep battling over here and dealing with all of these shitty emotions and feelings and frustration and results that just don't give you what you want? Or do I start battling to master the mundane, to do the simple things on a day-to-day basis, to focus on the things I talked about at the beginning of this video, envisioning who I want to be, my identity, what does this person do, what are the choices they make, what are the things that they commit to on a daily basis that are simple, but they're non-negotiables in terms of being in line with moving them forward to what they want. It's a simple choice. The decision for you is how hard of a battle do you want to make it for yourself? Do you want to put all of this stuff in your way, or do you want to let go of it and battle over here, even if it's unknown, even if you've never been there before, even if you can't see it yet? Which one do you want to really battle in order to have what you want? Which one do you think is going to lead you to where you want to be? How you want to feel, how you want to look, being able to do the things that maybe you don't have the self-confidence and level of self-worth to even do right now. Like, for me, this is where I live. It's where I operate, but it's also where I help my clients move towards. It's where I love to focus in my program, because anybody can follow a food plan and a workout for a certain amount of time. If you don't focus on transitioning the who in this process, I guarantee you're going to end up back here. You're going to end up back in that cycle because you're bringing all of that crap with you over here. You didn't let it go. You brought it with you. And at some point, it's going to drag you back. At some point, it's going to weigh you down. At some point, it's going to hold you back from continuing to improve. I hope you've got a lot from that tonight. If there's anything I can do to help you in this process, if you're not sure to how to get out of this battle and how to simplify moving over here, then I want you to send me a message. Comment below here. Let me know and I'll set up a time for us to talk so we can actually look at that for you and work out what is going to be the best way to achieve that. Otherwise, if you're in my Facebook group, look forward to What's Up Wednesday with me this week. I have some fun content coming your way. Otherwise, I will speak to the rest of you next week.